Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Evans Enchanted Reading Time, and today we're going to read, excuse me, The Emperor's Egg. Remember, we met Tacky this week, and Tacky met the Emperor, and Tacky and the Emperor, remember they wore those funny clothes? So we know that that story is not real. That story is a fiction story. So today we're going to read The Emperor's Egg, and you're going to decide whether or not this story is real, true, or not true. So is it going to be fiction or nonfiction? We're going to decide that today. So stay tuned to after our story because we're going to learn a lot of facts about the Emperor Penguin, and that'll be fun. You won't want to miss that. But let's get started in our story. Let's get to our title page. Oh, there it is. That's where we find the title, The Emperor's Egg. Our author, the author that writes the words, his name is Martin Jenkins, and the illustrator who does the pictures is Jane Chapman. And isn't that a great picture of an emperor penguin? I wonder what that is right there. Let's find out. Let's get in our story. But wait, what's that shape over there? It can't be. Yes, it's a penguin. Oh, it's not just any penguin either. It's a male emperor penguin, the biggest penguin in the whole wide world. And he's doing a very important job. He's taking care of his egg. He didn't lay it himself, of course. His mate did that a few weeks ago. But very soon afterward, she turned around and waddled off to the sea. That's where female emperor penguins spend most of the winter, swimming about, getting as fat as they can, eating as much as they can, and generally having a very nice time, as far as you can tell. Sounds good to me. Which leaves the father penguin stuck on the ice with the egg. Now, the most important thing about egg sitting is to stop your egg from getting cold. That means it has to be kept up off the ice and out of the wind. And what better way to do that than to rest it on your feet and tuck it up underneath your tummy, which is just what the father penguin does. And that's how he'll stay for 2 whole months until his egg is ready to hatch. Can you imagine it? Standing around in the freezing cold with an egg on your feet for 2 whole months? What's more, there's nothing for the father penguin to eat on land. And because he's egg setting, he can't go off to the sea to feed. So that means 2 whole months with an egg on your feet and no dinner, or breakfast, or lunch, or snacks. I don't know about you, but I'd be very, very miserable. Luckily, the penguins don't seem to mind too much. They have thick feathers and lots of fat under their skin to help keep them warm. And when it gets really cold and windy, they all snuggle up together and shuffle over the ice in a great big huddle. They shuffle without losing their egg. Most of the time, the huddle trundles along very, very slowly. But sometimes, when the penguins get a particularly slippery slope, they slide down it on their tummies, pushing themselves along with their flippers, always remembering to take care of their egg and trying hard not to bump into each other. And that's how the father penguin spends his winter. Until one day he hears a chip, 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 chip. His egg is starting to hatch. It takes a day or so, but finally the egg cracks open, right open, and out pops a penguin chick. Now, the father penguin has 2 jobs to do. He has to keep the chick warm, and he has to feed it. But on what? The chick is too small to be taken off to the sea to catch food, and it can't be left behind on the ice. Well, deep down in the father penguin's throat, there's a little tiny pouch where he makes something a little bit like milk. And that's what he feeds to his hungry chick. Now, the father penguin can make only enough of the milky stuff to feed his chick for only a couple of weeks. But just as he's about to run out, a dot appears on the horizon, and it gets closer and closer, and yes, it's Mom. She starts trumpeting, hello, hello, and Father Penguin starts trumpeting, hello, hello, and the chick whistles. The racket goes on for hours and hours, and it really does sound like as if they're extremely pleased to see each other. As soon as things have calmed down, the mother penguin is sick right into her chick's mouth. Yuck, you may think. Yum, thinks the chick, and gobbles it all down. It's the mother's turn to take care of the chick, while the father sets off to the sea for a well-earned meal of his own. About time, too, don't you think? And that is the end. So first of all, let's talk. Is this a true story or not true story? What do you think? Okay, you ready for the answer? The answer is, it's true. Everything in here is true about an emperor penguin. They are the largest penguin in the whole world. The mother lays the egg, gives it to the father. The father keeps it warm for 2 months. That's about 60 days. That's a long time. 60 days he stands on the ice. Then the chick hatches. He has to take care of it. Remember, it can't get cold. He has to keep it warm. And when it hatches, he has to keep the chick up off the ice and warm too, so that it doesn't get hurt in any way. Then he feeds it. He feeds it with that little bit pouch of milk. And that pouch of milk lasts 2 weeks. And the little chick sticks his beak up into the father's throat and takes that milk. And 2 weeks, that's about 14 days. And then mom comes back. And we said that the mom kind of threw up into the chick's mouth, into his mouth. And what do you think he feeds him? He feeds him, well, what do you think the mom ate in the sea? Maybe the mom ate some fish, maybe some shrimp. And so she chomps it all up and it stays there. And then she can give it to the chick kind of like baby food fish or baby food shrimp. And that's what the chick eats. And so then the father gets to go and eat. And so those are all true things about the penguin. Even though the pictures kind of look like a cartoon, this is a true story. So true stories are called nonfiction. And so this is a nonfiction book. So I told you that we were going to learn some facts about emperor penguins. Let's take a look, because at the bottom of the pages, and even right here, I didn't read that part. It talks about where the penguins live. And the penguins live at the bottom of the earth. And it's white because it's covered with snow and ice. And it's called Antarctica. It's the windiest place on earth. This is our planet Earth, and this is the Antarctica, and it's the windiest. It says the weather's bad enough there in the summer, but in the winter it's terrible. It's hard to imagine anything actually living there. Then on the other pages, I don't know if you noticed or not, but at the very bottom, it's hard to read, they give you other facts about the penguin. The male emperor penguins are about 4 feet tall, it says, and females are just a little bit smaller. Here it says, emperor penguins eat mainly fish and squid. So squid, not shrimp, but fish and squid. Oh, wait a minute. And tiny shrimp-like animals called krill. So they eat krill that kind of look like shrimp, but they're not shrimp, they're krill. They're a little bit smaller. Inside the egg, a penguin chick is starting to grow. If the egg gets cold, the chick will die. That happens sometimes. It's sad, but it happens. Which is just what we read that part, which is just what the father penguin does, is keep that chick warm. Female emperor penguins lay just 1 egg in May or June. That is kind of warm months for us. Summertime starts in June. It starts getting warm in May. It's the end of spring, which is the beginning of winter in Antarctica. So when it's spring, the end of spring, and the beginning of summer here, it's winter in Antarctica. So it's different in different parts of the world. This was very interesting. Oh, here's some more facts. The chick is only about 6 inches tall. So about 6 inches, maybe about that tall. And much too small to keep warm by itself. Tiny. Let's see if we can find more facts. Here we go. Every adult penguin has its own special sound or call. It's kind of like a fingerprint. As humans, we all have different fingerprints. Each emperor penguin has a different call. So it might be like hoo-hoo or ha or hee-hee or ho-ho. You just don't know. If you have a phone or a computer, you can Google real emperor penguins and see them and maybe listen to their mating calls and see if you can see a difference in them. Each chick has their own special whistle so that they know which chick is theirs. And that's it. Those are all the facts about the emperor penguin. Penguins are really kind of special animals, and how they keep warm in Antarctica is a big layer of fat. And there's lots of activities that you can do with kids, and you can do with your mom and dad or grandma, or grandpa, or aunts and uncles that have to do with penguins. First of all, you can do your own fingerprints. If you just take marker and you color on your fingerprints and put them on paper, you can do that and see your fingerprint. You can make a penguin out of a thumbprint. If you do a thumbprint, and then you can look at the picture and you could put a little beak on them and little feet and make little penguins out of your thumbprints. That's kind of fun to do. We used to put fat or lard in a bag and then put your hand in a little plastic bag and then stick it in the lard and then put it in ice, and you can see that your hand stays super warm and it doesn't get cold in ice. Well, boys and girls, it's Friday here, and I'm going to wait Saturday and Sunday, no stories, but go back and listen to some of the other stories, and I'll see you on Monday with a new story. Oh, we're going to read about the desert. And that's where I used to live, in Arizona desert. So we're going to read about that. And now I live in Florida, and we're going to read about the manatee. Oh, did you see Barry? Barry's our dog. Barry, come and say hi to the boys and girls. Barry, come here. Come here. Come here. Here, I'll turn it around so you can see Barry. Come here, Bear. Come here, Barry. Come here. Barry. He's very excited because there are peacocks in the backyard. And that's what he's doing. Barry, come here. Come here. He's just pacing around. He wants to go outside and see the penguins. Barry, say hi to the boys and girls. Maybe we can spend some time with Barry another time. Bye, boys and girls. Have a great weekend and make good choices. Be safe. Bye-bye.